Well, dear, that's all very well. But what matters now is him. What are we going to do about him? Listen to me. Can you hear me? Get control of yourself. What are we going to do about him? And there's the lad downstairs. When I left him, he was sound asleep in the parlor, always simple as a baby lamb. Later, I can fob him off with some story, easy. But him, what are we going to do about him?
Later on, when it's dark, we'll take him out and bury him.
Well, I suppose we could do that. I don't suppose he's got any relatives going to come poking around looking for him. But, you know me. Sometimes ideas just pop into me head. And I keep thinking, seems a downright shame.
Shame?
Seems an awful waste. Such a nice tall frame, what's his name, has, nor it can't be traced. Business needs a lift, debts to be erased. Think of it as thrift, as a gift, if you get my drift. Now, seems an awful waste. I mean, with the price of meat, what it is, when you get it, if you get it.
Ha!
Good, you got it. Take for instance Mrs. Mooney and her pie shop. Business never better, using only pussycats and toast. Now a pussy's good for maybe 6 or 7 at the most. And I'm sure they can't compare as far as taste.
Mrs. Lovett, what a charming notion.
Well,
Eminently
it
practical
does
and yet
seem a
appropriate
waste.
as always. Mrs. Lovett,
It's an
how I did
idea.
without you all these years, I'll never know.
Think
How
about it.
delectable.
Lots of other gentlemen will soon become as far as shade. One
Undetectable.
day,
How
think of
choice,
all
how
them
rare.
pies.
Oh, what's the sound of the world out there?
What, Mr. Todd, what, Mr. Todd, what is that sound?
Those crunching noises pervading the air.
Yes, Mr. Todd, yes, Mr. Todd, yes, all around.
It's man devouring man, my dear.
Then who are we to deny it
here? Ah, these are desperate times, Mrs. Levitt, and desperate measures must be taken.
Here we are, hot from the oven.
What's that?
It's priest. Have a little priest.
Is it really good?
Sir, it's too good, at least. Then again, they don't commit sins of the flesh, so it's pretty fresh.
Awful lot of fat.
Only where it's sat.
Haven't you got poet or something like that?
No, you see, the trouble with poet is how do you know it's deceased? Try the priest.
Heavenly. Not as haughty as bishop, perhaps, but not as bland as curate either.
And good for business, too. It always leaves you wanting more. Trouble is, we only get it on Sundays. Lawyer's rather nice.
If it's for a price.
Order something else, though, to follow, since no one should swallow it twice.
Anything that's lean.
Well, then if you're British and loyal, you might enjoy Royal Marine. Anyway, it's clean, though of course it tastes of wherever it's been.
Is that squire on the fire?
Mercy, no, sir, look closer, you'll notice it's grosser.
Looks thicker, more like vicar.
No, it has to be grosser, it's green.
The history of the world, my love.
Save a lot of graves to a lot of relatives' favor.
Is those below serving those up above?
Everybody shaves, so there should be plenty of flavor.
How gratifying for once to know
that those above will serve those down below. Now let's see. We've got Tinker,
Oh no, something pinker,
Tailor,
paler,
Butler,
subtler,
Potter,
hotter.
Locksmith.
Look,
Lovely bit of clock.
maybe for a lark.
Then again, a sweep if you like it cheap and you like it dark. Try the financier, peak of his career.
That looks pretty rank.
When he drank, it's a bank cashier. Never really sold. Maybe it was old.
Have you any beetle?
Next week, so I'm told. Beetle isn't bad till you smell it and notice how well it's been greased. Stick to priest. Well, now, this may be a bit stringy, but then, of course, it is fiddle player.
No. This isn't fiddle player. It's piccolo player.
Well, how can you tell?
It's piping hot.
Well, then blow on it
The history of the world, my sweet,
Ooh, Mr. Todd, what does it tell?
is who gets eaten and who gets to eat.
And Mr. Todd, who gets to sell?
But fortunately, it's all too clear that everybody goes down well with me.
Since Marine doesn't appeal to you, dear, how about Rear Admiral?
Too salty. I prefer general.
With or without his privates? With his extra, dear.
What is that?
It's fop, finest in the shop. Or we have some shepherd's pie peppered with actual shepherd on top. And I've just begun. Here's the politician, so oily, it's served with a doily 1-1.
Put it on a bun. Well, you never know if it's going to run.
Fried it's drier.
No, the clergy is really too coarse and too mealy.
The actor, that's compactor.
Yes, it always arrives overdone. Oh, come again when you have judge on the menu.
Wait, it's true, we don't take judge, yet. But would you settle for the next best thing?
What's that?
Executioner!
Have charity towards the world, my pet.
Yes, I know, my love.
We'll take the customers that we can get.
High bone and low, my love.
We'll not discriminate great or small. No, we'll serve anyone, meaning anyone, and to anyone at all.